There are strange radio frequencies scattered across America that no one officially owns anymore. Dead military channels. Abandoned emergency broadcasts. Encrypted signals that were never supposed to survive the Cold War. Most people assume they're silent. Most people are wrong. My name is Daniel Mercer. For nearly 15 years I hosted a tiny overnight radio program called Night Signals, broadcasting from a converted garage outside Flagstaff, Arizona. We weren't popular. At best, maybe 1,000 listeners stayed awake with us after midnight. Truck drivers. Insomniacs. Radio hobbyists. People who preferred static over silence. Every Friday night I opened the phone lines for anyone who discovered unusual radio transmissions. Most callers brought nonsense. Pirates. Foreign stations. Atmospheric interference. But one night, someone tuned me to 91.3 megahertz. Everything changed. The caller introduced himself only as Mason. His voice trembled. "Danny, I've got something weird." "What kind of weird?" "I keep hearing voices. People talking." "No." He hesitated. "They're counting." He played a recording. Static. Then, a perfectly calm male voice. 274. Long silence. 275. Another pause. 276. No emotion. No background noise. Like someone reading numbers into an empty room. I assumed it was some abandoned weather transmitter. But Mason interrupted me. "The signal only starts at 2:13 every morning. And it stops exactly 14 minutes later." Odd. Very odd. I became obsessed. Using my amateur equipment, I aimed a directional antenna toward the source. The signal came from the mountains north of town. An isolated ridge. Government-owned land. No listed radio towers. No civilian stations. Nothing. Yet every night. Exactly 2:13. Exactly 14 minutes. The counting continued. Curiosity always wins. So that Sunday I drove toward the ridge. Old service roads climbed through pine forests until I found a rusted chain blocking the path. A faded metal sign read, "U.S. Defense Property. No entry. Authorized personnel only." The lettering looked 50 years old. Beyond it, nothing. Just forest. I walked 3 miles uphill. Eventually I discovered something buried beneath the mountain. A massive steel blast door. Paint peeling. Concrete cracked. No windows. No visible power. Stamped into the metal. Peak Station 14. Below that, a symbol I'd never seen. Not military. Not civilian. Just 3 concentric circles surrounding a triangle. The bunker had obviously been abandoned decades earlier. Trees grew from the roof. Roots split the concrete. Nature had reclaimed everything. Except, I could hear something. Very faint. Buzzing. Like electrical transformers. Impossible. There shouldn't have been electricity. I reported it during Friday's show. Immediately the phone lines exploded. Several older listeners recognized the location. One man, Earl, had worked road maintenance in the 1970s. He said nobody was allowed within 5 miles. Military police patrolled constantly. What was inside? They never told us. Missiles? No. He lowered his voice. They said it listened. Listen to what? He hung up. The following week I brought better equipment. Portable spectrum analyzer. Thermal camera. Geiger counter. Audio recorder. The bunker emitted almost no heat. Radiation normal. No visible power. Yet the radio signal poured through the steel like sunlight. The strongest transmission I'd ever measured. Then something unexpected happened. The steel door clicked. Not opened. Clicked. Like a lock disengaging. I backed away. Nothing else happened. That night, the counting changed. Instead of numbers, the voice spoke. Daniel Mercer. I froze inside the studio. Nobody knew I was monitoring them. The broadcast continued. Please acknowledge. Every hair on my body stood upright. Listeners flooded the phones. Danny. They said your name. Are you pulling a prank? I wasn't. My producer wasn't. None of us knew what was happening. Then the voice said. You are receiving. Pause. You are approaching. Pause. We appreciate compliance. The transmission ended. I stopped sleeping. Someone had to be inside that bunker. Government. Military. Cult. I filed public records requests. Nothing. Peak Station 14 officially didn't exist. Property maps skipped over the location entirely. Even satellite images blurred the ridge. A retired Air Force communications officer contacted the show anonymously. He refused to give his name. Only one sentence mattered. Don't decode the intervals. What intervals? The silence between transmissions. Then he disconnected. That warning haunted me. Silence. Who analyzes silence? I loaded every recording into audio software. Measured the gaps. Every pause lasted a different length. 9 seconds. 11. 7. 13. Not random. They formed another pattern. Morse code. The pauses themselves carried a message. One sentence repeated endlessly. Open the door. I drove back immediately. The bunker waited. Silent. Cold. Motionless. Until the blast door clicked again. This time, it opened 2 inches. Darkness beyond. Air drifted out. Warm air. Impossible warm air. Smelling of dust. Oil. And rain. Even though the desert outside hadn't seen rain in weeks. I shined my flashlight inside. Concrete hallway. Old cables. Emergency lights glowing dim red. Impossible. Power after 60 years. I stepped inside. The hallway descended. Every wall covered in radio equipment. Vacuum tubes. Massive reel-to-reel machines. Computers older than I was. Yet every indicator light blinked perfectly. As though maintained yesterday. At the end sat a recording booth. Microphone. Chair. Desk. On the desk. A cassette tape. Labeled simply. Host. I pressed play. Static. Then. My own voice. Not a recording I'd ever made. Future conversations. Future broadcasts. Entire episodes I hadn't yet hosted. Weeks ahead. Including mistakes I'd eventually make. Questions callers hadn't yet asked. Even my laughter. Everything. Perfect. Near the tape player stood a calendar. Last page marked. 1987. Someone had crossed out every single day. Except one. Tomorrow. I ran. Didn't stop until I reached my truck. The next night's show became national news. Because thousands of listeners heard the same thing. At exactly 2:13. The station interrupted itself. No commercials. No warning. Only the calm voice. Daniel Mercer. Long pause. Thank you for opening the facility. Then. We are no longer isolated. The broadcast died. Power failed across my studio. Outside. Every dog in the neighborhood barked simultaneously. Then stopped. Complete silence. Until footsteps crossed my backyard. Crunch. 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 Someone walked slowly across the gravel. I looked through the window. Nothing. Then another step. Closer. Still invisible. Only footprints appearing in the dust. One after another. Approaching the back porch. My security lights activated. No person. Just fresh footprints. Large. Military boots. They stopped outside the sliding glass door. Then. One final footprint appeared. Inside my kitchen. Without the door opening. I grabbed a flashlight. Swept every room. Empty. Except. The old portable radio sitting on my counter. It wasn't mine. Black military model. Covered in scratches. Still powered. Its speaker hissed softly. Then the same calm voice returned. We have arrived. The radio clicked off. Police searched the house. No fingerprints. No forced entry. No radio matching that description. According to the officers, there had never been one. They insisted I imagined it. I quit broadcasting. Moved across the country. Never touched amateur radio again. For nearly 12 years. Nothing happened. Until last winter. While cleaning the attic of my new home. I found a cassette tape. No label. No case. I don't remember packing it. I played it anyway. Static. Then my own voice. Older. Tired. Exactly as I sound today. It said only one sentence. Don't answer when they knock. Someone knocked on my front door. 3 slow knocks. I looked through the peephole. No one. Then the old battery-powered weather radio on my kitchen shelf turned on by itself. A frequency appeared on the tiny green display. 91.3. The speaker crackled. A familiar voice calmly began counting. 274. Then it stopped. Not because the signal ended. Because something else finished the count. Right behind me. 275.